everybody. I am back after a very long time. Been a long time since I did any kind of show. But now, for some reason, I can't stream live because we live in we're living in a communist country now where you can't do anything without, everything's restricted. So now I have to do videos because I tried to go live and it's saying you got to set up the software, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it takes anywhere for 24 hours, so not going to happen. So anyway, I figured I will just go and do it the caveman type way with a glass of wine. And happy Memorial Day, everybody. So today I am going to give you a journey through the counterculture film, which covered a very disastrous concert that the Rolling Stones played at, and it is none other than Altamont 1969 free concert, December 6th, which it was filmed, and it was released as a film exactly 1 year later, December 6, 1970. And it was produced by the Maysles brothers, David and Albert. And they asked the Stones, they were covering if they can cover them on their tour, on the 1969 tour, and they agreed, and it resulted in this documentary. And it was recorded during the last few weeks of their 1969 tour. And people were labeling it, the producers, it's supposed to be called Woodstock West, but it was anything but, as you can see. The film was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It documents a lot where there's, you see the Stones behind the scenes, where there was a well-known attorney that was representing them, Melvin Belly. And he was negotiating with the owners of Altamont, and they agreed, and their response was, oh, they better not better not be a blade of grass out of place, and the whole 9 yards. And in the beginning, you even hear, there was a call-in show, and one of the Hells Angels called in and said, well, they told me that I could, if I can hang out on stage to where nobody could climb over me at the edge of the stage, I can drink beer all day. Well, drinking beer resulted in some really, really heavy violence, and I think it was more than just beer. Anyway, one of the highlights of the actually they covered the Stones at Madison Square Garden first of all, and they did a fantastic show. And one of the artists that were on the road with them were Ike and Tina Turner, and they put on, if you have to watch the film, it is amazing. You'll see Tina Turner's performance was truly mind-blowing. Very, very erotic, just the build-up. And it just, I even read somewhere that their concert, they were so good that the audience, the Rolling Stones couldn't go on stage until the audience applause subsided. They were that good. And the song that they covered was called I've Been Loving You Too Long, and it was originally an Otis Redding tune. And after viewing this backstage, Mick Jagger was quoted as saying, it's nice to have a chick occasionally. And a lot of times what you'll see, this is 80-calorie wine, hardly any sugar. Doesn't take from the taste of wine, though. And it actually makes you kind of sleepy. But I figured I'd drink it. And anyway, what happened was, too, this documented them on tour. Also, it takes them to Muscle Shoals recording studio in Alabama, where they were busy laying down tracks for their album Sticky Fingers, which came out in 1971. They were laying down tracks for Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, and You Gotta Move. And you hear a lot of that, you hear those songs throughout the film as well. And I never thought I'd say this, but Mick Jagger was absolutely adorable. I mean, his mannerisms and the way he portrayed himself on stage, and he was truly adorable. And I can kind of see the charisma there and how the ladies, you know, a lot of times, you know, most people do want a rock star. That's their dream, to be with a rock star, and he was no exception. But that being said, they the Hells Angels, evidently they were hired to be the security there. Why, I don't know. They came equipped with pool cues, and like I said before, they were supposed to be portrayed as the Woodstock West, and to me, that cemented the end of the flower power hippie generation. And the 70s, the beginning of the 70s, which culminated as the 70s went on, it drew away from the peace and love to more harder rock, to more of the cocaine and crack near the end of the 80s. Well, I digress. Anyway, one of the highlights of the video too, of course, the Flying Burrito Brothers played there. They were doing a song called 6 Days on the Road, and the violence was starting. Everyone was getting out of hand, and the shows, I mean, you had to pause. They had to pause, like, it seemed every 10 minutes to tell everybody to, you know, calm down. And during the Jefferson Airplane set, it got so bad to where the singer Marty Balin was punched in the face. And while the crowd was getting increasingly unruly and, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't think of it right now. It must be the wine, or it just must be my airheadedness. I don't know. Incorrigible is the word I'm looking for. And Grace Slick, who is I think is one of the coolest women on the planet, she's just telling them, easy, easy. And Paul Kantner, out of sarcasm, he says, I'd like to mention that the Hells Angels just smashed Marty Balin in the face. I'd like to thank you for that. So one of the Hells Angels got up and he says, you're talking to my people, as he's holding the beer. You're talking to my people. Let me tell you what's happening. You are what's happening. And then Grace says, says, you don't hassle with anybody in particular. You got to keep your bodies away from each other unless you're intending love. You need people like the Hells Angels to keep people in line, but the Hells Angels, she says, you don't bust people in the face for nothing. So both sides are fucking up temporarily. Let's not keep fucking up. And the Grateful Dead were scheduled to perform, but they heard about the news and they backed out. They're like, no way. So the Stones took the stage and they were awesome as usual. And then the crowd started getting out of hand. People were pushing, shoving, punching. And a couple times they stopped and Mick he says, you cats have to cool it down. You know, you have to mellow out, man. You know, you just have to, you know, cool it. And this went on a number of times. And then Keith, you know, he's the macho man. He's like, you better stop or we're not going to play. Well, some help that did. Anyway, I will go back to that. And I have to introduce me to the newest member of my family. Bubba! Come here, Bubba Tugs! Now you won't come here. Why not? Say hi, Bubba Tugs. This is Bubba. We call him Bubba Tugs. We rescued him. He was a yard dog. And we took him in. And he's the sweetest dog in the world. I hope you can see him. There he is. Say hi. Say hi, Bubba. Say hi, Bubba Tugs. Say hi, Bubba Tugs. He is such a good boy. Aren't you, Bubba? Hey, Bubby. Can say hi, Bubby? Yeah, hi, Bubby. He's usually all excited, all up in my grill and bouncing all over me. But that's the newest member of my family. And anyway, to get back to the subject matter in hand, here, let me take some water here. I have water and wine. Reminds me of the Bible. But I can't turn water into wine. But I can do this. Water, voila. Oh, ignore me. I'm so lame. Anyway, the concert was carrying on, and then what you will see afterwards, everybody viewed what was happening, and they played it back. They showed where a young black man, 18-year-old black man by the name of Meredith Hunter, was there with his girlfriend, and he, supposedly from what I've read, he was on methamphetamine, and he wore this green bell-bottom suit and a tall hat, one of those top hats that sometimes you see at these raves. I've been to raves before in the past. Well, not really raves, but back then when alternative rock was in and grunge, and so they wear these top hats. And anyway, he tried to force his way to the front of the stage, and one of the Hell's Angels named Alan Pissarro, pushed him away. And then supposedly Meredith Hunter, he pulled out a revolver, and then that's when you see Alan Pissarro stab him. He gave him 6 stab wounds, and of course he ended up in the hospital. And later on it was revealed that Alan Pissarro was acquitted of any of charges because it was in self-defense. Because, the whole crowd, was just out of control. You're just going to have to... It was the first time I ever saw it, and I was glad. It was a truly, truly outstanding performance by the Stones, and you have to see the footage from Madison Square Garden, Tina Turner. There's a small portion of the Ike and Tina Turner concert where she's just singing that song, and her performance is just electrifying. And also worth noting is George Lucas, a very young George Lucas, handled some of the camera work, but during some of the performances, his camera jammed by mistake, and so a lot of that footage wasn't included. It would have been interesting to see that, but the movie in itself was really, really... It's almost like you were... I can't be cliche and says it's almost like you're right there, but it is. It's really... you hear... Then backstage, people were calling in. One of the Hell's Angels would say, "Yeah, they knocked my bike over," and Mick Jagger, and he was just pretty much bad-mouthing him. Mick Jagger was just like, "What?" So anyway, and of course the Jefferson Airplane. Grace Slick was just one of the coolest women on the planet. She's just going, okay, easy, easy. And yeah, everyone's fucking up. Let's not fuck up. Basically, we got to keep each other in line. We can't be next to each other unless we're demonstrating love, but both sides are fucking up. She said it best. I was going to go to the beach today, but I decided to try to do a live stream, and that didn't work out. I was going to, like I said, have a live stream, and now... Instead of 1, 2, 3, I got to set everything up. I haven't been on, like I said, in about over 6 months because I started working, and now again I'm out of work. I was directing traffic for 2 months at a COVID testing center near my house, and then that ended in December, turn of the new year, and then for the last 3 months I was registering clients for their vaccinations. I was handing out consent forms, and I tell you what, I know I'm getting off topic, but I can't believe how many stupid people there are in this world. I tell them, you got to sign and date the back, and there's 2 signatures. Of course, they always sign at the end. They don't read their forms. That was for the nurses. So I say, you got to sign right here, top portion. Every time I say top portion, they turn the page around. In a way, I was making good money, and I wish I was still there only for that, but I tell you what, I'm very relieved because that was really starting to get on my nerves. And the people were just... And they're nasty. And when they were waiting 4 hours, I couldn't believe how you can understand them being nasty, but this time it wasn't busy, and I don't know, it might have been because they were nervous or whatever, but anyway, anyway, that's what I was doing for 6 months, so this is the first time really being back and doing any kind of material. So in the meantime, maybe what I'll do is try to figure how to set this stuff up so I can go live. And that's the end of my covering my Altamont Rolling Stones Altamont concert discussion, and hopefully you guys still enjoy this video. I say hello to everybody. If you're first time at this channel, I'm going to try to get my live streams up and going, and that way I can give a shout out to everybody to please subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell. And I will be still announcing any live shows once I get this up and going. So everyone have a wonderful Memorial Day and a great week. Thanks for coming. Thanks for viewing me and sitting through my snooze fest. All right. Bye-bye.